We'll go ahead and get started because we have so much to cover, and I want to make sure that we get to everything. And I'm sure there'll be more that continue to join as we go. But we'll go ahead and get kick things off here so that we can get to everybody. We have some wonderful solutions for our pharmacy partners to generate more profit. We not only have solutions for generating more profit, but we also have solutions for saving money and also saving on taxes. So there's so much that we're going to cover. If you only just take one or two things away from today's presentation and incorporate them into your pharmacy, you'll be so much better off. But again, thank you so much for being here, everyone. My name is Breck Rice, and I'll be your host today. Welcome to the More Profit Community Pharmacy Roundtable for November. We hold these monthly, and we've had some great success. We've kicked off some really great products that have helped community pharmacies bring in more profit. And we've even introduced new programs as well. Super excited about a new medical billing program that is helping our pharmacy partners all over the country. I'll ask all of our participants today to please make sure your microphones are muted if you are one of the presenters, until I call you up to the stage. That way we will have a clean recording for all of those that couldn't make it. We also know that a lot of our pharmacy partners will get called away, maybe have to take a phone call from a doctor or have a patient that really needs them and may have to step away for a few minutes. We don't want you to miss anything, and so we will provide the recording for you. Let's go ahead and get going here. I love community pharmacy. I've been around community pharmacy for more than 20 years. I have been involved with revenue cycle management and helping our pharmacies get the fair reimbursements they deserve. Part of that work has been also fighting the good fight against the PBMs, and that is truly the problem today. When I look back at 20 years ago, what our pharmacy partners were making in profit margin, about 36%, and this is a report by Fortune that you've probably seen. Back in the day, it was great, right? We made good profit on dispensing medication. Today, you're lucky to get 3 to 5%, and it's all because of the greedy PBMs wanting more spread pricing. That's also why I host the PBM Reform podcast to help do anything we possibly can legislatively to correct this problem. If you take that poor reimbursement and say, okay, well, how come it's all coming down that way? Well, it's because the big payers, big insurance companies, and the big PBMs are all aligning to put the little guy out of business. That is absolutely their goal, and have been so evil about that even finally the FTC is looking into PBMs. But I could spend a whole hour just talking about that one topic right there. You also then add in DIR fees, direct indirect remuneration, and that increased since 2010 to over 91,000%. That would be like spending $3,600 for a gallon of milk, right? Ridiculous. So everything is stacked against our pharmacy partners, and so I wanted to do something to help them survive. I started to see a lot of closures happening just in the last couple of years. Some of our pharmacy partners that have been around for 80 years, 106 years, that had to close up their doors. They just could not survive on those horrible margins and the DIR fees that just killed them. And I get updates from all of our pharmacy PSAOs. This is just one of our PSAOs that gives me a regular update on some of the recent closures that they've had. ServRx is the preferred provider, third-party billing provider for all of the PSAOs out there, and so we get these updates. I've seen close to 3,000 closures or selling their files to the chains, which is sad as well. And so I really wanted to do something about that, and that's why I launched this roundtable to help our community pharmacies any way that I possibly could. If you look at the supermarket chains and the big national chains, they're doing a lot more than just dispensing medication. So I truly believe that independent pharmacies and our community pharmacies, our small chains, they need to put more focus on other programs. You can't have all of your eggs just in that dispensing basket. And you can see independent pharmacies have over 90% of their revenue is coming from dispensing. So you've got to look at some of these other programs to help bring in new profit to offset the poor reimbursement that you're getting on just dispensing. So I believe about 1/3 of that needs to be in non-dispensing revenue. And you know, when I was a little guy, I had the opportunity to live up in Canada for a little while. One of our presenters today is from Canada. I can't wait to have you hear him and what he has for you. A wonderful program. But loved hockey, played it. You know, I was when you're playing the Pee Wee League, the pads actually weigh more than the kids, you know, so you're pretty indestructible out there in all that padding. But I followed the career of Wayne Gretzky. He was, you know, such a great player. I'm sure most people even, you know, probably couldn't name a lot of hockey players here in the U.S., but most people know who Wayne Gretzky is. When interviewed and why he was such a great player, this is what he said. He skates to where the puck is going to be, not to where it's been. We need to have that same philosophy as pharmacy professionals. We need to go to where the profits are going and not where they have been. And that's why we put this on. Now, I can tell you that all of these wonderful things that I brought today to share with you, ServRx doesn't get anything from this, okay? Even though my buddy Scott always jokes that the check's in the mail. No, we don't take anything from this. We are here purely because we love community pharmacy. We want to see our industry survive. And I mean, selfishly, I would say that, yeah, the reason why that this is so important to me and ServRx is that if all of our independents go out of business, I don't have a business anymore. Okay, so that's why we do this, and so I'm excited to share with you these programs that we have for you. First, let's go into the ServRx program. Get the
Your worker comes into your pharmacy. What do? Do they have a PBM card? Who is their carrier? Will I have to make a bunch of calls to find out? Will I get paid? And if I get paid, will it even cover the cost of the drugs? Don't worry, just send the claim to ServRx. They will do all of the work, guarantee payments, and you will even make more. Less work and more money. What do you have to lose? You are probably already contracted through your PSAO. All you need to do is enroll. www.servrx.com.
So Will usually handles this for me. I'll go through it, try to be as good at this as he is. But we are a value-added service to the PSAO partners that we partner with, and you can also direct contract with us. We're a no-fee service. Doesn't cost you anything to be a part of ServRx. We're just simply a third-party default biller for workers' comp. We just happen to pay a lot better than the PBMs do, because we're not working off that spread pricing. We're passing that on to our pharmacy partners. So if you take a medication like meloxicam that the PBMs only want to pay you $4 or $5 for, you really should be getting over $90. In some states, you should be getting over $100 for that medication. So this is a free service to you. You're probably already enrolled or contracted through your PSAO. You just need to get enrolled with us. I'm going to put Will's contact information up in the chat. If you are not enrolled in this program, you need to be. So certainly reach out to Will, and he can get you set up. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. In fact, it actually costs you about $50 or $60 if you don't use our program, because that's about how much the PBM is stealing from you. Now, I'm a realist. I understand that if you are in network with those PBMs, sometimes they hold you hostage. They say, okay, if you want all of United Healthcare, you're going to have to take Optum and Catamaran and Cypress Care and all these other little networks that they bundle. They are evil that way. They kind of make you take all or nothing. We understand that, okay? And if you are contracted with them, then you do please honor your contract and send those claims to that network that you're contracted with. We have had some PSAOs that have been successful to get out of some of those contracts. So even though Optum bought Timesys, for instance, a couple of PSAOs have been able to carve out Timesys and keep that separate. So you could cancel that agreement and send those claims to ServRx for the much higher reimbursement. Even though you are in network, if your PSAO has you in network with a lot of the work comp PBMs, still in workers' comp, there is a lot of self-insured employer groups. So about 1/3 of all of the work comp claims out there could still be processed through ServRx for the life of the claim. And about 50% of work comp injuries, they get between 10 and 12 refills. So it really can add up for you. We've had pharmacies really focus on work comp and go after that business and go detail the pain doctors and the orthopedic doctors in the area and generate so much revenue that they were able to open a second or third pharmacy location. So for more information, please reach out to Will about that. So here's some of the amazing programs and products that we've brought to the table. Most of you are familiar with the BIOLYTE product. BIOLYTE was launched right here on the roundtable before it was even available through your wholesaler. Today, you can just get it through McKesson, Cardinal, AmerisourceBergen. That's been a fun one. But we're going to talk about some of these amazing products for your front end to boost your front end sales. And I'm going to invite people up to the table. I'm not sure if we have anyone here from Clair. If anyone from Clair, now this program is not even launched yet. So this starts in the first quarter of next year. But it's an amazing nasal cleansing program, and I'll put their contact information in the chat as well. But is anyone here from Clair to say hi and say a few words? I think Clair stands for clear, or is the French word for clear. Maybe if anyone here speaks French, you might be able to correct me on that. But like I said, this program starts in the spring of 2025. And if you're interested in carrying this it's basically a medical device that is good for cleaning they sent me a prototype. It works. I use it. Cleans out the sinuses very, very well. So I'll put their information in the chat here shortly. Want to invite to the stage Jonathan. Man, this is such a fun product. And if any of you were at NCPA up in Columbus, Ohio, you saw Jonathan. He was like Clint Eastwood with his I'm not even sure what that's called, John, but come to the stage and tell us. He had his armor on that had look where you'd put like your shotgun shells, but he had the little breath rocks in there and his little sample cups. But Jonathan, tell us about your program.
Brett, great to be with you. Yes, we launched last year at NCPA, and then this last NCPA a couple weeks ago, I had my shotgun shell belt full of all of our breath rocks. It was a really fun way to connect up with some of our customers, some of our investors, and potential customers. Just to tell you about breath rocks, what this little breath mint is, it's basically sugar-free pop rocks with zinc. How it works is the zinc in there neutralizes the gas in your mouth. All those little those little popping pieces activate your saliva, and then those little pieces are scrubbing your mouth. So it's neutralize, activate, scrub, which is exactly what we put on the bottle there. We have 3 flavors right now, which is mint, cinnamon, and watermelon. We are launching next month our blue raspberry, and that's what people were just going crazy for because it has this cooling sensation that we've added to it. And then next quarter, we're going to launch mango tahini. And this is a flavor you would not think as a breath mint, but Hispanics, South Asian Indians, And then some of the folks like Breck who've been in Arizona for a while, who've got that kind of that palate for it. It's just a fantastic flavor. So this wide range of flavors that we have gives a lot of people a chance to kind of find out what works for them. The retail price for BreathRx is $2.99. Your price as a pharmacy owner is $1.49. So that way you've got that keystone margin. To be able to order, all you got to do is just go to our website, breathrx.com, sign up for a wholesale account. We ship that to you. If you are a member of the API warehouse, you can also order that way as well. But this product, like I say, if you sell 10 of these a day, $30 isn't going to move the needle. What really makes a difference is when you use it as a tool. And it was great last year when we launched. We were telling people, look, you're not Dunkin' Donuts. Why are you bringing donuts to doctors? You should use this as a tool because it's a great product. It gets people excited when you come in the office, and it deals with the side effects of some of those prescriptions that cause dry mouth. Or we'd say, hey, look, you got that kid who's scared about getting his vaccine. If you give him this, he's focused on the part in his mouth. It distracts him. It rewards him. And so now, a year later, it was great to have these pharmacy owners coming up and say, yeah, you know what? We are using it for doctor detailing. We are using it for vaccines. We've got those people that, you know, they only buy something a couple bucks at the register. I'll say, hey, throw us in for $3. If you don't like it, we'll give you a refund. Everybody loves it. So it's just a fantastic tool that's an icebreaker for any of the, you know, patients and providers you're working with. We've also had a seed loan that we've opened up. We've raised over $1.5 million from all these great pharmacy owners. So if you're interested in that, please lasso me. But most importantly, get this product in your pharmacy. We're having pharmacies order again and again and again because it's just a great, fun thing to be able to break the ice with your customers and to get people coming back for more. So grateful to be a part of NCPA and of the roundtable here, and just to be able to be on the store shelves of all these great pharmacy owners.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. And yeah, I must have been Mayan in a former life because I love the sun, and that mango tahim was delicious. I can't wait for that to come out. So thank you so much for being here. Next up, we have Visby with which is the PCR testing. As Dave or Jamie here from CalbioTech. Okay, real quick, I'll cover this program. It is the PCR test. It's the combo test. So they have two different tests. The combo one that I'm talking about covers your flu A, flu B, and COVID. So you can rule that out. Everyone, no matter what kind of sniffle they get, they immediately think, oh no, I've got COVID. Well, this is a way to rule that out and check those three things all in one test. They have a wonderful program right now where they'll set up community pharmacies with a special and then free charging. I'll put their details in there as well so that you can contact them if you have a need for that. The program also for STIs for whatever additional information you want, I'll get you in direct contact with them. I'll put their contact information in the link. Next up to the stage, I want to invite Terry. Terry's on a road trip right now across the country to tell us all about good iodine. He has an amazing program for the first 100 independent pharmacies. So Terry, tell us about your program.
Okay, thank you very much, Breck. Wonderful to be with you. And this is my first time in a community pharmacy meeting. I've been working with iodine for the last 40 years. And I've worked with many different technologies that we've created. And over the past 15 years, our focus has been on humans and how we can help. And the best way, I guess, to introduce this would be, there's been recent studies that have come out a couple of months ago from Newsweek, for example. They came out and they said that 2/3 of the global population are missing 4 key nutrients in their diet every day. And the number 1 key nutrient was iodine. And there's 5 billion people that aren't getting enough of it. To go back to something that everybody knows about is iodized table salt. And that was put onto salt in the 1800s in order to avoid health issues if we don't have sufficient iodine in our diet every day. In the 1950s, the iodine community got together and the science guys created a new technology called levothyroxine, essentially Synthroid. And for people at that time, a small percentage of the population with no thyroid or partial thyroid, this was a game changer for them. It would allow them to live a normal life. And the interesting thing is when you take a look at the combination of the lack of iodine in our diet, and that is nature's thyroid element in order to produce T3, T4 hormones, which are critical for every cell. They go into the nucleus and provide direction for a cell. So the dots, I guess, that we can start to connect is the lack of iodine in our diet. The Synthroid industry has gone from being a very small business in the 1950s to help a small percentage of the population to now it's one of the #1 selling drugs around the world. So there's been work from different universities, including Yale and Mayo Clinic and Arkansas, that came out and they said, we've done a review of 23 million users of Synthroid in America, and they're indicating that close to 90% of these users really shouldn't be on Synthroid. And there's reasons for it. If you have a healthy thyroid and it's not getting enough of the element it requires to produce a T3 or a T4 hormone, you can actually change your diet and you can add things in order to help to keep your thyroid functioning correctly. So if people start to go on to Synthroid, essentially it makes your thyroid sluggish is the medical term that they use, and the Synthroid takes over. And this is something that the Synthroid only provides the T3, T4, and the T3s go into the nucleus, but our body also requires molecular iodine inside of us, as well as iodide in order for these things to create. And iodine is a cyclical element. So if we ingest iodide, our body will produce molecular iodine. Our body will produce atomic iodine for the T3, T4s. So what we're looking at doing here is working with the pharmacists and their Synthroid customers. And an average pharmacy in America has 250 Synthroid customers that are coming in to buy. So we've put together a review program for the pharmacist, an independent review, to be able to look at whether or not these customers are getting the right dosing and whether or not their thyroid's functioning. And it's critical to understand this, not only here in North America, but around the world, because this is an issue for all the human race. So what we're doing is working with the pharmacist in conjunction with the doctor and the patient, for example, to say, we have a technology that's been created, and there's only a handful of iodine technologies in the last 200 years. The good iodine product that we're introducing is a pure molecular iodine that can deliver 30 micrograms with an oral spray, and 3 doses will give you 90 micrograms. And we have a protocol set up to work with, the Synthroid program, so that over the next 60 to 90 days, people can have blood samples taken and say, here's how my thyroid's actually functioning, and we can start to balance the synthetic with the natural, and then that's something that they can move forward and start to live a healthier life, and that's what we'd like them to do. So within this protocol, we'd like to make this easy for the pharmacists, and I'm learning about the pharmaceutical industry, and a lot of it is coming from you, Breck, and thank you very much, because this is something that can be an added product that's coming out of left field, because we're the only people that can produce this product. And we do have production that's here in Canada, but we're starting our production, oddly enough, in Phoenix, where Breck is, over the next month. So we'll be able to well service the pharmaceutical industry. To give you an idea how we're presenting it, we're putting this out on consignment. There's no cost to a pharmacist, and we're going to sell a 3-month supply to a customer. They're going to get a discount where they're going to get 2 bottles for the price of 3. Each bottle is a 30-day supply. So they have their 90-day supply to be able to run the review. So we actually will help the pharmacist put out the introduction into his Synthroid customers to say, this is important to come in for a review. This is a behind-the-counter product to start. So therefore, 3 bottles will be in a package with a protocol that goes in it for the Synthroid customers. There's a questionnaire so that we can understand how their body is working and how things are evolving over the next 90 days with them. But the most important thing is they're going to pay for 2 bottles. We're going to do a revenue sharing with the pharmacist. So we're going to split that $70 revenue, because we sell a single bottle for $34.99. Customer is going to pay for 2 of them. We'll split that revenue 50-50 with the pharmacist, and then we get through this review. It's approximately a 90-day review. The extension of this, if a parent is on Synthroid and they're in a family, there's a good chance that the children are not getting enough iodide in their diet either to produce the hormones they require for them to grow up properly. So the expansion of this is to be able to offer the Synthroid families an iodine product for the whole family that they know that they can use and be healthy. One of the side effects, I'll give you an explanation how molecular iodine works when you spray it at the back of your throat. And this is an important understanding because pharmacists are chemists, and I was at the trade show with you a couple of weeks ago, and I actually enjoyed very much speaking with the pharmacists. This is not a simple, or this is actually a very simple formula where you're spraying an I2, molecular iodine, at the back of your throat. It interacts with bacteria, it kills them, it also deactivates viruses. In that process, it leaves them intact. There's work that's been done that intact whole viruses as well as bacteria leave materials for the immune system to make antibodies. That's a whole other discussion as an immune system warrior. That's what naturally happens in our body with molecular iodine. In that kill process, it converts to an I-. That iodide is now in our stomach. Our stomach has 0.5% of all of the acids is hydrochloric. That'll convert iodide back into molecular iodine, back into our bloodstream to protect us. The iodide also enters the bloodstream, and this is where we come into the thyroid review. Every 16 to 18 minutes, all of that blood is passing by your thyroid. It has one job, to be able to remove pure iodide from your bloodstream and turn it into atomic iodine for the hormones. So with this program, it is a whole body benefit at a cellular level. But from a Synthroid perspective, for the first time, customers are going to understand the benefits of iodine and their thyroid working properly. So
That's awesome.
this is what we'd like to do, work with them.
Thank you, Terry. Amazing program. Jump on that. And I was glad that you were going to cover what it does for your immune system, because I was about to spray the back of my throat.
Yes,
right
especially
now, and
traveling. Thanksgiving is coming up. Families get together, and
yep.
Interestingly, I spent the last 2 years working with the #1 COVID doctor in America, who is Joe Verone, that has been all over the news and things like that. The medical industry's repurposed our product, and they've taken it from 5 sprays a day, just being a daily micronutrient that we need, up to 15 sprays when people were sick, either with influenza, strep throat, COVID, RSV, and within a few days, literally 3 days, they were all symptom-free. So that's sort of the upfront marketing program that'll come within the pharmacies as we start to expand with them from the Synthroid into the immune system warrior program upfront. But yes, it's there.
Excellent. Terry, please put your contact information up in the chat for everyone. And I also wanted to now welcome to the stage Scott Lampier with GermsRx. We have a little explainer video first.
Have you worried about the germs and bacteria your children pick up at school or while playing outside, just to bring those same germs back into the house? Or you have an older parent whose immune system doesn't fight as hard as it once did? Introducing myshield sanitizing wipes and sanitizing body spray, a more effective answer in the fight against germs and bacteria, available in large or travel size formats. Our cutting-edge antimicrobial nanotechnology, Zetrasil, creates a microscopic bonded barrier on your skin and other surfaces, keeping you safe from 99.9% of common germs for up to 4 hours. Our sanitizing wipes are water-based and stay saturated for longer, allowing you to cover more surfaces per wipe with our proprietary virus and bacteria-killing solution. With a pack of these wipes in your bag, it's easy and even enjoyable to sanitize surfaces and skin everywhere you go. They're safe for children, safe for pets, and safe for you. If you prefer a spray to a wipe, our sanitizing body spray includes all the same virus and bacteria-killing science as our wipes do. Simply spray anywhere to sanitize your skin or your clothes, avoiding your eyes and mouth, for up to 4-hour protection from viruses and bacteria. MyShield's sanitizing body spray is available in 2 ounces, 16 ounces, and 1 or 5 gallon sizes. The sanitizing wipes come in 2 resealable pouches, from a travel size of 20 wipes or a large size of 50. Come get your MyShield on and visit GermsRx.com to discover how our innovative products can shield you from harmful diseases and infections.
Now I have 2 products I won't travel without: Good Iodine and MyShield. I absolutely love the MyShield product. I don't go anywhere without them. Won't get on a plane without that protection, because I know I'm protected for 4 hours. If the FDA says that lasts 4 hours, it must last 5 or 6 hours. And then the study that was recently done on what the microbials they've found and the pathogens they found just on a shopping cart handle. Oh, I can't go to the grocery store without this product. Scott, please tell us more about your program.
Well, I appreciate that, Breck. And just real quick, I know it's about my time here, but I wanted to go over what you do for the community pharmacies. It really is a labor of love, and you don't, and I know this for a fact, that ServRx doesn't take any money for anything, and you just spend all your time trying to make things better for other people. And it's a pleasure to work with you
Yeah,
and the
thank
other vendors that are part of it. Real simple. I first want to say is that people are really being lazy now. We are comfortable with what's going on, but the but COVID and flu and RSV and all the other things that go on in the wintertime are coming. And we have to develop better habits now. I mean, it's mandatory. And for the pharmacy, uh, it's it's a money maker because I did an analysis the other day. They're averaging about 75% markup on the products, and they again range from wipes and hand sanitizer. And most people that I talk to do not realize that the alcohol-based hand sanitizer lasts 20 seconds or so. As soon as the alcohol dries, there is no benefit to your hands or as far as protecting them from germs. So you killed the germs right then and there, but there's no ongoing protection. The special pricing that I have for the group here for the roundtable, just send me an email and I'll send you the pricing for your pharmacy, and you can go on the website GermsRx.com. There's the e-commerce, you can buy products from there, but I think I know somebody can get you a better price than retail. If you just send me an email and I'll take care of you. So I appreciate everybody's time and attention, and I'll give it back to Breck.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Yeah, love his products, and super excited to have him partner with the Community Pharmacy More Profit Roundtable. A new program that I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of. Well, they may have been around for a while, but first time presenters here to the Community Pharmacy Roundtable. This is amazing, right? We all, every pharmacy usually carries a nutrition line, and why not become get a certification in that so that you can really boost your sales on supplements. Cole is the main lady over this program, so you've got the top dog here.
Thank you, Breck. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and it's my first time here with you. I'm the executive director of the National Association of Nutrition Professionals, and we have developed a program that I believe it would be critical for pharmacies who are looking to add to their bottom line. We call this the Certified Dietary Supplement Professional Credential. Anyone can get the education needed in order to become a CDSP individual. The way that it works is that there is a very inexpensive education that would be obtained through American College of Healthcare Sciences, which is a school that's affiliated with our association. The program is only 8 semester credits, which is equivalent to about 45 combined educational hours that include study time, lecture time, quizzes, etc. It's fully online, it's self-paced, and what is taught is nutritional health and body systems, the fundamentals of dietary supplements, and most importantly, the legal responsibilities associated with selling dietary supplements, and then supplement quality, which of course is very, very important. I think the keystone of this particular type of education is that it is not brand specific. I know a lot of times supplement companies will come in and do a lunch and learn. You're only learning about that particular product. You're not learning about dietary supplements in general. And so I feel very good about this type of a program. Once the education is obtained, The exam is taken through our association. And so what are the benefits to you to having somebody on your team, whether it's yourself, whether it's one of your clerks, somebody who's working in the pharmacy? As the slide shows, the industry is forecasted to grow by 95% in the next 9 years, and you're going to want to have a slice of that. Selling customers dietary supplements is doable. Selling them something that's going to work for them because the person who's selling it truly understands dietary supplements and the body systems and how it works is critical to bring them back so they'll continue to buy the product. I know many people who have cabinets full of dietary supplements they've tried, they didn't work, they stopped taking them. They don't go back and buy more. You want people to come back and buy more. And so as well, you don't want people saying anything they shouldn't say. It's very, very important that they don't put you, the business owner, in a liable position. And so there's actually 3 semester credits required for just the legal aspects and the dietary supplement quality portion of the educational program and the exam. We have all kinds of marketing materials that you can use once you have somebody on staff who is a CDSP. Excuse me, they get a pin that they can wear on their apron or on their shirt. We have window clings. We have rack cards. We have all kinds of materials so that you can tell your customers that they can come in and they can consult with someone who truly understands how to get them connected to the proper dietary supplements. There are some brilliant brands out there. They are high quality. The margins are good. You will make money. And if you have any questions about how to get your pharmacy set up, please contact Tiffany on my team. She's amazing, and she can be reached at tiffany@nanp.org.
And I put that in the chat there, so you've got her email. And that Tiffany is who reached out to me originally, and so super happy to have you join us and make this program available to our community pharmacy partners. Wonderful program.
Thank you, Brett.
So I didn't see Jessica. Is Jessica here today from Real Value? So Real Value RX, I think you're all very familiar with them. They're a secondary wholesaler. Some of my community pharmacy partners actually use them as the primary because their pricing is so much better that it doesn't even make sense to, get your volume discounts or whatever from the big 3. And they have a really cool new robotic system at their facility that there's a cool video that you can watch and take a look at that. I'll give you the link here in the chat here in a minute. Wanted to move quickly on to same-day delivery with Hypr. Have you guys seen this yet? Hypr is absolutely amazing. A flat rate. Now, I know there's other they say they're flat rate programs out there, right? Like DoorDash and others, but they're not a flat rate. They start with a base rate, but then they add on all of their, mileage and their fuel tax, and they just keep adding up stuff. This is a $7.95 up to 25 pounds for $7.95 flat rate. There's no additional fees to that. So if you provide delivery services at your community pharmacy, you absolutely need to check into this. It may be a lot less money than what you're spending. And if you still have your own delivery car and driver, this is obviously a lot less expensive. I know for workers' comp, the average work comp patient is on 2.3 medications, so over 2 medications per injury, and this all fits in one nice little package and is like I said, same day delivery. So I'll leave a link in the chat for that program. If you have not looked into it, absolutely look into this. This could save you a bunch of money. And again, if you're using any of those other carriers like DoorDash or any of those, sorry, you want to look at and see what all the additional fees are that they have on there. It's not truly a flat rate. So I'll put some information in the chat for you on how to get an analysis done and see if this is the right thing for your pharmacy. So Dr. Brimhall couldn't be here today, but I'll cover really quick a program he has. Everyone is really interested in these semaglutides, right? The Ozempics, the Wegovy's, and then we've got a lot of our compounding pharmacies that are actually compounding those semaglutides now. But there's some pretty bad side effects that are associated with that. So I know our PharmDs are very aware of that, but there's some now 3 different independent studies that I've seen that are now linking semaglutides to blindness. So that's not good. Well, Dr. Brimhall has a full program that's all natural GLP-1 activator that basically allows your own hormones, your own GLP-1, GLP-2s to do their job. And so here he's, stating that one of the hardest things that he has with working with his patients has been weight loss over the years. So he's a holistic naturopathic doctor here in Arizona that I know personally. And so this program is something, if you do a weight loss program, this can enhance and help the patients that are on the semaglutides. This will actually help stimulate their own GLP-1. So it may be an enhancement to those that are on that, or you could replace it with an all-natural program as well. So I'll certainly leave some information in the chat so you can contact me about that. Does anyone want their part of $94 billion worth of medical billing that's available now through community pharmacies? Well, I have been preaching about this for 2 years. I've looked at all kinds of services out there. I've looked at all of the credentialing companies. I've had some of my pharmacy partners spend as much as $16,000, $20,000. One of my partners spent $50,000, over $50,000, trying to get his pharmacy, a couple of pharmacies credentialed, still didn't get across the finish line. And when I mentioned this problem to a healthcare consultant, that we were having this problem, and I really wanted to help our community pharmacies get into the medical billing and do it right, he suggested that I talk to a gentleman by the name of Ray Vono. Ray had already built a platform, scheduling, appointments, procedure, everything all built into a nice billing platform and everything that does the medical billing. And that was when the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network was born. So just started this year. Creating these community care initiatives all over the country. Even though this program just barely launched, they're already in 15 or 16 states. And one of my grocery store chain partners is actually going to take them into over 30 states here real soon. I've got a little explainer. I'm going to see if I can bring this onto screen.
Why join the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network, IPPN? 1. Access new revenue opportunities and make thousands more than you currently make doing the same service types. 2. Increase billable revenue beyond current pharmacy limits by using the new clinical care delivery contracts negotiated for you by IPPN. 3. Increase foot traffic and sell more retail items and services. 4. Increase community healthcare equity and engagement for better outcomes. 5. Create your own community care program to support your community health initiatives and allow local providers to participate in your network created through IPPN. IPPN provides the turnkey solution to make this happen and allows for increased revenue and opportunity for your pharmacy.
Now that we have your attention and discussed how we can help your community and increase your revenue, the following are key points of IPPN. 1. Virtual direct supervision enabled software. Direct supervision through the IPPN application with real-time audio-visual technology instead of in-person presence. 2. Collaborative practice agreement, IPPN provides the CPA between IPPN for the technology, a provider who provides incident to billing supervision, and a pharmacist or other provider who provides specific services as these components fulfill the intent of the Medicare incident to billing provision. 3. Community provider recruitment. IPPN provides recruitment services for providers to participate in the community care program. 4. Contracting with payers for clinical services. IPPN provides contracting services for Medicare and other payers for clinical services delivered through the IPPN Community Care Program. All services under the CPA fall outside of all direct pharmacy billing and billed as a clinical service under the new payer contracts. For example, bill your vaccines as a clinical visit under the CPA under the supervision of the provider assigned to the patient and immediately increase revenue. Again, IPPN provides the turnkey solution to make this happen and allows for increased revenue and opportunity for your pharmacy. Join IPPN today at www.ippnhub.com.
Thank you again, and remember to join the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network.
Go to www.ippnhub.com and start increasing your revenue today.
Okay, well, let me just give one quick success story, and then we'll move on. I had one client. They've got multiple stores in they're in Little Rock, Arkansas, headquartered, but they go from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, all the way over to Kentucky. And I took just their flu data and all their vaccinations they did for flu shots. And they had done 10,000 flu shots. That's a lot of flu shots. So when I saw what the PBMs reimbursed them for that, then I ran that same workload through the IPPN program. It would literally add $800,000 to their receivable for doing the same amount of work that they were already doing. This is a legitimately awesome program that you all need to take a look at if you haven't already looked into it. It literally can save our community pharmacies from that revenue margin that has gone down on the dispensing side to start doing the medical billing for services that you already do, move it over to the medical side, and then add additional services. For instance, WellCare checks. Our primary care providers are shorthanded. We have a shortage in the United States. If you look just at the CMS, just Medicare, they're only getting maybe 20 to 25% of the annual WellCare checks done. If you've tried to call your primary care provider and say, "Hey, I want a WellCare checkup," if I called my doctor today, told them the reason why I wanted to be seen, they would probably put me off until February or March before they could fit me in. Well, we can do all of those WellCare checks and screenings, diabetes screenings, heart health, osteoporosis. All those screenings can be done right at our community pharmacies through the IPPN program. A vaccine like the standard flu shot that's getting reimbursed at only $17, $18, $20, you could be getting $85 for that same vaccination. So I'll put the contact information in the chat there, and want to hurry and turn some time over to Richard Terrell. He's got a program to help you save on your taxes. If you think you're overpaying for taxes, I don't know who doesn't think that, but if you think you're overpaying for taxes, you need to see this program, and they can look into this. Absolutely no cost, free to check it out and see if it would work for you. Richard.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I'll make sure I'm sharing properly. Very, very good. Thanks a lot, Breck, and I appreciate everything you're doing for the pharmacies. I'll go pretty rapidly through this. There's obviously a bunch of detail, and I would encourage you to spend a half hour to find out about this if you are one of the fortunate people that have a problem and you feel like you are paying too much in taxes, because that's what we work with. See, I'm moving here. There we go. Okay, so what's the problem? you are probably, if you are a successful business owner, you are probably overpaying your taxes by 20 to 40%. Because the vast majority of owners of pass-through businesses, those are companies that are sub-S corporations, LLCs, partnerships, etc., they are not taking advantage of statutory tax breaks that could be available if you were properly structured and implement the right strategies. Why are we missing out? Is because if you're an S corporation, LLC, etc., you are missing out on the advantages that are there with a C corporation. If you are a C corporation, you're missing out on the advantages of an S corporation. Every different type of entity has different advantages and disadvantages. What we're talking about here is not a criticism of any of your tax preparers, CPAs, attorneys. Everybody is focused and has to specialize. There are over 74,000 pages in the Internal Revenue Code, and you can't possibly be an expert in everything. Your typical CPA is focused on compliance. They don't have time to access all of the legal strategies that exist for the program. If you have any question about that, just try to get a hold of your CPA between January 1st and April the 15th. They are doing what they're supposed to do, making sure you are compliant, but the time to do this, what we're doing here, is simply not available. What kind of tax breaks are there out there? There are Section 125 benefits. There are tax-favored deferred compensation programs for owners, tax-favored life insurance for owners. There's tax-favored asset-based long-term care. There's all kinds of different programs that are available if you have structured yourself in the right way. So what's the answer? The answer for us is Tax Law Associates. The Tax Law Associates is a specialty tax consulting firm. We've been, as a firm, was established in 2002, national practice in Atlanta, Georgia. At this point, we have almost 4,000 clients. We're in all 50 states. The managing partner and the creator of all of his programs is a man by the name of Mike Fusel. Mike is an attorney. He's a master's of law in taxation. He's a member of the U.S. Tax Court Bar, and he is also a CPA. He's been doing this for 27 years and is proud of the fact that in all those 27 years, he has never had an audit on his work. He has defended other people because of his background and all of his expertise, but for his work, he only uses statutory opportunities that do not create audit situations for us. So why does it work? How does it work? It's because we work with a multi-entity structuring. An entity structure is a legal issue. It's not an accounting issue. CPAs don't form corporations, attorneys form corporations. And that's why we, coming from both the legal and the accounting standpoint, have a different perspective on all of those different pieces. So when we do this type of work, there are two different kinds of pieces that work here. One is hard dollar savings, literally reducing the amount that you are paying for your taxes. So if you're already paying whatever you are paying in your taxes, you are paying that through your W-2 income and typically through quarterly payments to the IRS. Those hard dollars are reduced. Hard cash that remains in your pocket rather than going to the state and the feds. When we create these strategies in there, those strategic tax reductions are every year. So there's obviously a fee for what we do, but that is in the first year only. Typically, you've got an ROI of close to 100%, 80, 90% ROI in year one, and then infinite ROIs year after because there are no additional fees for it, but your savings, because of the strategies that are in place, remain as long as your business is in place. So the second part of what we do, because we're looking at it from both a CPA and as well as a legal standpoint, is we also look at the other, what we refer to as soft issues. Things like entity structuring, real estate holdings, asset protection, estate planning, succession planning, et cetera, employee retention, education planning. All of those areas are looked at to make sure that you are taking advantage of all of the potential that you have. So what we're not replacing your financial advisor. We do not do the taxes that your CPA does for you today. We focus on what we do because it takes full time for us to do it, just like it takes full time for your CPA to do the compliance. We're not going to work in a gray area. Everything is statutory, by black and white, by the book. If there were to be an audit, we would defend it at zero cost to anybody, but we haven't had an audit in 27 years. So we want to avoid them, not be able to defend them. Again, we're not a retainer service. Service is one time off your first year savings as a percentage of your first year savings, and then you will have reoccurring savings every year for the life of your business. The fees we talked about before, it's a one-time fee in the first year. Savings continue every year. Typical ROI 80 to 90% in the first year. Cash flow positive in the first year. In other words, we are going to reduce your taxes by an amount greater than what the fee is. So you'll actually have an increase in cash flow even in the first year when the fees are there, literally 80-90% ROI, and over a 5-year period of time our ROI is typically close to 1,000%. Because of working with Breck and all of the pharmacies, we will do a complementary analysis, give you the minimum taxes that you would save by implementing the strategies, and obviously go into detail. You'll be working with the attorney specifically to do this. My information is in the chat. But here's how to get a hold of me, and that's what I've got. Any questions? I'm obviously here for that. Breck, back to you.
All right, thank you. And one last person I want to introduce to you. We don't have time to get into his program today, so I just urge you, please reach out to him directly, and that's Dr. Lewis. DeMar Lewis is here. He has a program where he can help you find profit. He can actually help you double your profit in just a 5-minute analysis. So if that's not worth setting up a one-to-one with, then I don't know what is. So please put your contact information, DeMar, into the chat. I know you've done it already once, but do it again. That way everybody knows how to get in contact with you. I'm going to put all of the vendors who presented today, their information in the chat one more time as well. I'll also send this out with the links and contact information as a part of the replay. I know we're out of time, but for those that have stuck to the very end, if you have any specific questions, I want to make sure that they get answered. So I'm going to stick around for a few minutes to answer any questions. But thank you very much. I want to thank all of our presenters. I know it is a lot of information. We literally threw a ton of information at you today, and that's one of the reasons why we record this and make the replay available to you so that you can go back and rewatch any of the things that you may need additional information. But I'm always available too. I'll make myself absolutely available for anyone that wants to reach out to me. I guess I should put my own contact information up there in the chat.
I'm going to jump off now, Breck, because I have to go work with another pharmacist that came through your system. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. And whatever I can do to help, let me know. Take care.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. And the pharmacies that Richard's already working with are, I mean, it's thousands of dollars that they're saving.
Yeah, actually tens of thousands. You're probably averaging $30,000 to $40,000 savings per year for the pharmacies.
Wow,
Okay?
wow. Amazing.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Richard. So you'll see on my second link of my contact information that I just put in is actually a Calendly link. You are always welcome to schedule a one-on-one with me, and I'm happy to go into any additional details of any of the services or products that were presented today, and get you in direct contact with the decision makers at those entities. So again, thank you for being here. I know it's hard to take an hour out of a busy work day, but I do appreciate everybody being here, both our participants and our presenters. All right, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and then just please reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help.